Good morning, everyone. How's it going? I'm Matilda. This is my channel, Wine and Hustle. I'm the owner of a queer wine company, and I kind of want to have a sit down video today where I talk a little bit about why queer wine, why do we need queer wine, and what does it mean for me actually. So, I'm a lesbian, uh, if it wasn't clear yet. Um, I'm happily engaged, getting married soon, and I would have said that I come out like to myself maybe at 13. But there was always I wasn't like 100% comfortable to come out to the world, I guess, until actually a couple of years ago. Like I knew my friends and family and everything, but like online it wasn't something that I was ready to do yet. And that's the first point why we need queer wine or anything queer, really. Not queer wine, but any queer product helps someone realize that being queer is actually something to be proud of and something to share and a community that you can be a part of. And I feel like we need as much as we can get. And our community needs places, spaces, products that we can support and we can get behind. Because I would say I definitely struggled with the idea of being a lesbian, especially as a young kid. Everybody kind of has that same basic straight family dream because that's what we're getting taught. Um, and so it's kind of like a mind shift that you have to do to actually be like, oh, I'm different, but I'm not that different. There's so many queer people out there, and that's kind of what I want to show. So, like, kids, next generation don't have to have that thinking that much because they know that there's so many people out there that are queer and that love to be queer and that love to celebrate pride and that love to wave their rainbow flags, especially with our rights being under attack more than ever. I feel like any queer product, any queer small business is important, whatever they sell, really. If it's shirts, sports gear, underwear, wine, whatever, really. Representation matters and visibility matters. And so the point why I am doing wine is because basically, well, this is my expertise, right? I'm Wine is kind of like what I know. It's what I do for a living, what I did for a living before I started this company as well. So that's just kind of like my thing. And I wanted to make something queer, and I was like, why is there no queer champagne? Because I come from champagne consulting. So for me, champagne was always like this thing where you pop the bottle and it's like celebration. Everybody puts a smile on their face, everybody's happy, everybody's ready to go to just have a good time. And I love that about champagne. That's why I kind of specialize in that area because it's just such a vibe, really. Um, and then one night I had this dream about having a queer champagne, and I googled, and I was like, I can't believe that there isn't one. Like, I was really starstruck because I was like, oh, this is a great idea, but like there's already gonna be one, so I'm not gonna do it, whatever. And then I realized that there isn't one, and I was like, this is wild because we love to party, we love to spread the joy, we love to like have big celebrations, have drag queens out there. Like, how can there not be a queer champagne out there? So it was shocking to me. um, and that's kind of how it started. And then I was living in Paris at the time, and I went to the library every day, and just like wrote my business plan and realized the more I was like doing it, realized the how much fun I can have with this and how much like it can be part of a community. And it's funny because writing a business plan is something that is really like you kind of start somewhere and then you like keep going. There's so many more like ideas that come in. Maybe I should make a video on how I wrote my business plan. I think I'll do that. um anyway, so I was like, that's my thing. It's like I want to celebrate the queer community. I want to celebrate queer joy. And I feel like champagne or sparkling wine from California, right? There's nothing that could be better for that in terms of celebrations, parties, prides. And I'm seeing that, I'm seeing so many like fundraisers, charities, organizations, parties reaching out to me because they do want to have champagne at their pride parties, at their charity meeting, foundation meeting. And it's just something fun, and the times are so heavy, the world is so heavy, and I feel like it's also important to have something fun every once in a while, and for me it makes like this project. I see that the queer community is there, and I see that we stick together, and I see that online and in person. And I think without that I would maybe struggle a lot more in our current stage right now. So it actually also helps me personally to connect with my people and connect with a group where I know that I'm not going to be judged, I'm not going to be discriminated. And I love that for me, but I also love that for everyone who like just connects with me. And I think I've heard that a lot, especially on Threads. But I told you that I really love to be on there. That's what it's all about. Like that's what gets you through the hard times, is community. And I love that, for example, from the hotel meeting yesterday, we're gonna have a pride event where the community is actually going, like, coming together and drinking our wine and coming together, And wine has always been something that you share with others. Like beer, for example, I'd have a beer all by myself. I also had I've had glasses of wine by myself, but I always prefer to share my wine with other people, especially sparkling wine. And that's something that I think is important because you share something with someone, like it's a connection, it's something you just start talking about, whatever it is, really. And I think if we stay connected in the queer community, if we fight this together, we can, and we will win. We will get out of this stronger, and our wine will be ready to celebrate it, and while we're doing that, you can still, like, while we're fighting this fight, there's still moments where you can just have a glass with someone and also talk about the struggles, talk about the good things, and for me, also why especially I chose wine, obviously, as I said, that's my expertise, that's my industry. No queer wine, right? But in my experiences, also working in the wine industry for many years, was like I didn't work with a woman ever, not once, let alone a lesbian woman. And I worked in 3 wine stores, so all my colleagues were men, always. Um, so I was like that, and then I went to Champagne, and then I went to Champagne and traveled the vineyards, and all the owners were men. um, and definitely like not queer men, just like straight white men, and there's just no diversity whatsoever, and that's something that I feel like that's what I want to do with that, bring people in the wine industry that are not just the traditional stereotype. Because also for wine, it's like there's so much more you can do with wine than just champagne, with sparkling wine. And that's what we're trying to do as well, because it's just traditional old money and no diversity really. And I want our community, I want our drag queens to be able to celebrate with something queer. And there just wasn't anything out there. So let's get something out there. Let's celebrate something that we all can like get behind. And that's why the company is really so close to my heart, because it's not just a business for me and it's not just wine for me, but it's really all about representation, visibility, and doing something that matters, but also doing something that I'm passionate about and something that I hope people can be passionate about. So, yeah. Good morning, everyone. This is. I just wanted to talk about it because it is so important to my brand and to my company. And I hope that you guys get it a little bit more. I think you probably can like see my passion for this. I have a really hard time like staying in a lane, like staying focused. I should like make a notes or whatever, but I also like just like to talk to you like freely and just like say whatever comes to mind. But then sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of a little bit unstructured. So, well, yeah. Anyway, follow me on wingswinecompany.com. Check out our website. Oh no. Follow me, Wings Wine Company. Check out our website, wingswinecompany.com. Like and subscribe this channel. And thank you for listening to my little TED talk here. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye.